Greatness Coaching with Heidi M.
Welcome to Greatness Coaching with Heidi M. And today in part 2, we'll be discussing procrastination. Heidi, hello. I'm just going to say it right off the bat. I am a master procrastinator. What is wrong with me?
Hello, Ian. Right. First, I would like to tell you, Master Procrastinator, that you are not alone.
Thank you.
We all procrastinate at one or another point in our lives. It's also called self-sabotage. And when I call procrastination self-sabotage, doesn't that put a different spin on it for you?
Absolutely, yeah. Now I'm more worried.
Yes, you should be. All right. So procrastination is rooted in fear. It's rooted in the fear of being a failure. It's rooted in the fear of being judged. Now, if you think about, there was this study about this ballerina, a prima ballerina. She was chosen for the dance squad in a very prestigious ballet school. And then, of course, if one is a prima ballerina, one cannot just gain weight. They are very strict about the weight that these girls should have, maximum weight. And she got chosen, obviously, because she was good enough, but she didn't believe that she was good enough. This is all happening in the subconscious. So what happened was that she constantly literally ate herself out of her job.
Sure.
And she did that about 2 or 3 times and then was fired. So yes, gaining 5 kilos, gaining 3 kilos, it doesn't sound like a lot to us, but if you're a ballerina, it makes a big, big difference to the way that you can move and the way that others can move around you and the way that you look on stage. So what happened in her mind there is that she was scared that she wasn't good enough in her subconscious mind. And then started eating because it's easier to say, oh, I got fired because I was too fat, instead of, oh my goodness, I didn't perform as well as I was supposed to. So do you see how the subconscious mind was then sabotaging? She was self-sabotaging in the end. She would rather say, I got fired because I weighed too much, instead of taking the risk of failing. Now, the other important point to remember here is that your subconscious mind and everybody's subconscious mind rules our lives. The subconscious mind is like a strong horse, a young, very strong, big horse. And your conscious mind is like an inexperienced young rider. That rider will never be able to control that horse. So our conscious mind will never be able to control our subconscious mind. So what we should do is to actually look at this procrastination, this self-sabotage thing, and ask yourself, what lies beneath? What kind of rejection or failure am I afraid of? Many people are too afraid to start a relationship because they're scared that it might go wrong or they might get dumped. So when they start the relationship, when they get themselves so far to start a relationship or to enter into some kind of a relationship agreement with somebody, that they mess it up subconsciously all by themselves. They will then subconsciously start doing things, and then that spills over into the conscious, into the reality of everyday life, to make that person leave, or they will leave first before that person can leave them, from fear that the relationship will not succeed. Similarly with jobs that we do. So the whole thing is to again be, and I believe I said this last week, and I cannot emphasize enough how important this is, that you're able to sit with yourself and to discover and identify your fears. You need to show yourself some compassion here. And you can only show yourself compassion if you could identify your fears. In my life coaching, we do the regressions where we go into a person's subconscious in your past and discover where the fears may have their origins. So once you've got that covered and you understand what your fear is, then you're going to break it down and you're going to say to yourself, this is what my fear is. This is how I'm slowly but surely going to overcome that fear. And as you slowly but surely eating the elephant one bite at a time, you will see that the procrastination also dissipates or disappears. If you're going to look at a mountain of work, for instance, that you have to study for an exam and you're procrastinating, you just don't start because it's a mountain of work. Cut it into smaller pieces. Say to yourself, for these 2 days, I'm only going to work on these pages and separate those pages from the other pages so you don't even see what is still left. Only focus on a small goal at a time. If you're procrastinating being on a diet and losing some weight, actually, I don't like saying losing weight because we always look for things that we've lost. So let's say becoming your ideal weight. So you don't get started. You just can't get started. Don't think about, goodness, I have to shed 20 kilos. No, worry about the first 1 kilogram. Worry about walking 10,000 steps a day. Worry about your other health benefits that exercise will give you. More time with your children. Break your goals down. If once I have succeeded in weighing 65 kilos, I will be able to run around with my children on the lawn. I will live longer and a healthier life for them. I'll be able to be there for them. So you see, take the focus off the immediate problem, the immediate obstacle, and place the focus out there a little bit further whilst chasing specific goals and breaking things down, chunk it down into small bite-sized pieces, and then pace yourself also. I just want to say one thing about successful people. The most successful people in the world, and you can research this, they do things they don't like. They do things they don't want to do. And you know, when they do those things, they do them first in the day. Because then you immediately feel good about yourself. And when you feel good about yourself, procrastination dissipates, it disappears. If you think for yourself, you have to make a phone call, for instance, to fire somebody, you're going to procrastinate because it's never a nice thing to do. So do that first. Congratulate yourself. You've done the most difficult part of your day first. The rest is going to be a breeze. Yeah. If you absolutely cannot stand going to the gym, do it first. And remember and remind yourself, successful people do what they hate first. This will boost your self-confidence to no end. And your brain cannot hold conflicting ideas. Your brain won't be able to hold the fear and the angst of the procrastination and the self-confidence that you just gained. The self-confidence will win. So also reward yourself. Tell yourself, once I've done this, I'm going to drive and I'm going to get my favorite cappuccino. I'm going to spend half an hour on my social media once I've completed this job. Reward yourself. And remember, there are other rewards other than eating things. Whenever I say reward yourself, people go, okay, what am I going to eat? You don't have to eat all the time.
Yes, Heidi, I was going to say life is all about the little victories. It's all about how you reward yourself. But that's how are you rewarding yourself? For me, it's going on to Takealot and seeing what I can put into the cart.
Oh, nice. That's a nice one. It's definitely better than stuffing your face with cream cake. Although I suppose there is a time in the world, also in your life, that you can reward yourself with a cupcake. But I'm also, I'm loath to say you reward yourself with food. That could just lead to other problems. So I quite like your Takealot idea, I must say.
Yeah, but I think we've all been there. Maybe one day we must talk about emotional eating as well, Heidi.
Oh, yes. I did something about that on my page recently. And yes, absolutely. It's such a big deal, Ian. It's a problem for people, but help is out there. And similarly with this procrastination, contact me if you have issues, if you can't get over it. But if you follow the steps that I just laid out, I'm sure it's going to give you a fantastic boost. And once again, be honest with yourself, sit with yourself, ask yourself the hard questions.
Heidi, just lastly, if I like to leave things for the very last minute before I do them, but I still do them, but I find that I perform better if I do it at number 99, does that still make me a procrastinator?
I wouldn't say so much. Look, some people thrive on the adrenaline that it brings. I wouldn't make a habit of it. But if you see that it's giving the edge that you need, I say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Also, it's only procrastination if it's a procrastination for you, if it bothers you, if it's holding you back, if it's changing your quality of life, if it's affecting you negatively. Because what's procrastination for you might not be procrastination for me. Once again, be very honest with yourself and ask yourself, is what I'm doing here in this way, is this self-sabotage or procrastination? Is this something I could do without? Is this something that's holding me back from being my best, from living my best life? Is this affecting me negatively? Is this affecting the people around me negatively? And have that honest answer.
I think we'll end off with a quote by Richard Branson. And he, as you probably know, said, "Screw it, let's do it."
I didn't know that quote, Ian, but I love it.
Just
I'm keeping it.
Just do it.
Screw it, just do it.
Yes.
I love it.
Heidi, thank you so much. Thanks to you. How do we get hold of you, Heidi?
Yes, please go to my Facebook page at Greatness Coaching with Heidi M. And my Instagram page is at Greatness Coaching, or email me at heidi@homebound.co.za.
Thank you. Oh, that voice. Also remember, if you missed the Greatness Coaching, we'll put all the episodes on our podcast on eradiosa.com. Until next time, Heidi, thank you so much.
Love it. Keep well.